we have a few more. So these are the terminologies you will see. Definition of ready, definition of done, acceptance criteria. So these are the terminologies you should know. When you go to user story, you will come to know these terminologies. So what is the definition of ready, or definition of done, or acceptance criteria? So these are the interview questions. These are all three are interview questions. So in the Agile, they will ask a lot of questions. So that's why you have to go through each and every topic. Don't miss out. One day, okay, it's difficult. I can assume you spend time half an hour every day for this Agile. So read all the topic by topic, definition by definition. Continuously keep reading until you're familiar with this Agile process. Okay, what is the definition of ready? So definition of ready is a set of criteria you agreed upon by the Scrum team, and you will understand the user story requirements, and you have given the all the consent to work on that. All your queries are addressed and everything is ready for development. Then they will change the definition of ready. That's the meaning of definition of ready. So definition of ready ensures that the team is fully prepared to start working on a product backlog item. That means the user story that is assigned to you is ready to work, and that all necessary information and dependencies have been addressed in the meeting. So that is, so when this criteria met, then that user story will be changed to definition of ready. So what is meant by definition of ready? So it is fully prepared and all your questions are answered and you understood the user story properly and ready for work. You can start your work. That time they will change the definition of ready. So this helps to reduce the risk of delays, rework, and ensures that the team can focus on delivering the values. So you can, once you understood, you can easily work on that user story, right? That will be done in this before changing this status definition of ready. They will explain the user story very clearly. So definition of ready typically includes information such as clear and well-defined user stories, sufficient requirements, and necessary resources, and whatever you need, that will be explained in this before changing this status in the Jira or in the mail also, whatever it is. So all that user story contains required information, dependencies, required resources, required documents, everything is ready for you. That time they will change the user story to definition of ready. Okay. Are we clear? Are any questions here? No questions or any doubts?
It means it means they change the status of a user story to definition of ready.
Right.
Is it? Okay.
Yes. So what is mean by that? They assigned one story for you, right?
Yeah.
So that's a new to that's a new to you. You also not aware of what is that. They will explain to you everything clearly.
Okay.
Once you come to a conclusion, okay, I understood all the requirements in that user story, then you will tell, okay, I'm good with this user story. You can move it to so definition of ready. Definition of ready means then you need to start working immediately. Okay.
Okay.
So that's the definition of ready means. You have any questions? So next, definition of done. What is mean by definition of done? It's clearly telling here.
It's implemented.
So
Done.
you have a Scrum team has one task, right? That assigned to you. So that you completed thoroughly and ready to be accepted by the product owner. You have given a demo also. So you completed the task. You have given a demo and product owner is accepted. So then the definition of done provides a shared understanding of what so you implemented with a quality product, and that helps everyone in the team. So is aligned what you have done. So that's the what you need to deliver, what product owner is expecting, you delivered that. What product owner is expecting through that user story, you have done exactly same. You achieved that. You have completed that task. You have given a demo to him. Then he is happy. Then he will change the status of that user story to definition of done. Okay. So it met all the conditions. So all technical, non-technical requirements met your user story. Then he will change that status to done. So yesterday I told that when you will move to done, once you complete all the acceptance criteria you met, and so every point you covered in your maybe development or testing. If you are a tester, you covered all the requirements. You tested every point. All the acceptance criteria points you met, and you have shown the demo to product owner. Then he will change to definition of done. So it should work there. If it is not working, you cannot, no, they won't move. Until unless he is not accepting, you cannot say that task is completed. Only when definition of done is done, then your task is completed. Next, are we clear here? Any questions?
The status who will change? We have
This is
changed.
changed by product owner.
Okay.
You don't have a access.
But in Jira, we have access to ready to done.
This step, this status you cannot change. This final status, definition of done status, you don't have.
Only definition.
Only you have. So once the definition of ready is done, then you can change it to in progress. So then review. Then that like that you can move. But definition of done is not your part. Okay. So that statuses I will show you in the Agile board, Jira board. I will show you. Okay. Is this clear? Or any questions before moving on to acceptance criteria? No questions?
No.
Okay. So acceptance criteria means there are a set of specific testable conditions that a product backlog item must meet in order to achieve the task. And if you want to complete the task, what are all the points it has to meet? All those points will be included under, there is a tab, acceptance criteria tab. Under that, all the points one by one, they will mention. Step by step. So they will mention, and that will be defined by product owner. Acceptance criteria is defined by product owner. So, okay, if he wants to accept this user story, what you need to do, you will write. So that is the acceptance criteria. The basically you can say step-by-step procedure to achieve that task, to complete that task. That is called acceptance criteria. So acceptance criteria help to define what success look like for each product backlog item and provide a clear and measurable definitions for the team member. So what you need to do. And also, so this helps to ensure that team is aligned on what to do on the deliveries. And so each task, what you have to do, clearly explain. That's the acceptance criteria means. Basically, a set of standards, steps, procedure to complete a task. What are all the points you need to taken care? So while working on that particular user story, that points will be mentioned here in the acceptance criteria. So while you develop or while you test, you make sure all this set of points, you meet them. You have taken care of them. So if any one point is not taken care, and he will ask, what about that one acceptance criteria point? So that's the acceptance criteria. If I want to accept this user story, what are the points you need to take care? So that is called acceptance criteria. Are we good? Okay. So then what are the advantages of Agile process and disadvantages of Agile process? So with Agile process, customer satisfaction is very quick, very rapid, and a continuous delivery of the useful software, working software will be delivered very quickly, and he will be very happy customer because customer will be very quickly he can see and he can give the feedback. And working software is delivered frequently in weeks rather than months. Weekly releases are expected if any large requirements are there, and they will split it. And so development and testing is planned, then that will be scheduled to deliver that particular requirement if it is mandatory. So customers, so developers, testers constantly interact with each other, and closely all people will work. So because you have very less time, there is no relaxation time here. Because 2 weeks means hardly 10 days only you will get if you remove the Saturday, Sundays. So within 10 days, you have to finish all the tasks assigned to you. So daily stand-up meetings will be there. So you can interact with the business team, product owner. And if you have any queries, immediately you can talk to Scrum Master and product owner because they are available always for you. Every doubt will be cleared. Even if you misunderstood the requirements also, they will clear. You don't need to worry. That's why get a clarity, then you start the work. Without understanding, don't start the work. You start once you understand and make sure you get the thorough understanding of the requirements. That's why I told you Agile, even our testing process I explained. First, read and understand the requirements. That's the first step I told. If you don't understand, set up a meeting with the product owner. And your Scrum Master will, anyhow, he will participate. Okay, so that's the advantages. And disadvantages are sometimes agile methodology. So the requirements is not very clear, hence it is difficult to predict the expected output. Very rare case it will happen. In few of the projects, at the starting of the software development lifecycle, it's difficult to estimate the actual effort required. This is a very tough job. So don't worry how to give this story points. That's a general, anybody is going to have a problem. You can give approximately, okay? So not a problem. Later, if you want, you can increase them. So because of the ever evolving features, there is always a risk of the everlasting project. So there are some features, very big features will be there. So sometimes it will take more time to finish them also. Risk will be there, obviously. For complex projects, the resource requirement and effort are difficult to estimate. Yeah, how many people required, how much effort needed, and that's difficult to estimate that. So that's the disadvantages of Agile, and also only efficient people can work on the Agile process. If you want to relax, that's not possible with the Agile process. So always, so efficiency is important here. So what is Agile velocity? Agile velocity is a metric. Basically, it's a metric, and that predicts how much work you have successfully completed within a sprint. That is called Agile velocity. Why do you need this Agile velocity metric? This is for management planning purpose. They need, because so how many user stories you are finishing in a particular sprint, and based on that they will plan. Okay, how many we can target each sprint, and they will target you. Okay, that purpose you will use this Agile velocity. So metric. The mainly this is the one. So number of total story points divided by one iteration. So that is called Agile velocity. For example, you see that I have given example here. So if the product backlog has a 300 story points. So a product backlog means I already told, right? A repository where all the user stories will be there. 300 story points related user stories will be there. So the team is averaging 30 story points for a sprint. Okay, for each sprint, Scrum team is able to finish 30 story points only. Then how many sprints you need to finish the 300 story points? Hmm. How many sprints you need? Yeah, simple mathematics, Andy. We're struggling. There are total 300 story points in the product backlog. But for one sprint, team is finishing 30 story points. Then how many sprints
10.
you need? 10, right?
Yeah.
10 sprints you need. So that's so this how they will calculate. So suppose, see this. If each sprint lasts 2 weeks, then the project will last 20 more weeks, right? 20 more weeks. If a team member is moved to another project, however, or new members are added, the velocity must be recalculated. Again, it will change, right? For them, you cannot give that these tasks. So that's the Agile velocity means. The total number of story points divided by one iteration, how many completed successfully. So you have given a demo and they moved to, and product owner accepted them. then only you can say it is a completed. Otherwise, you should not do that. Okay. Next. So what is a story point? I covered yesterday, again I'm repeating. A story point is a measurement effort required to complete the task assigned to you or assigned to the Scrum teams. So this is the used to measure the effort required to implement a story. That's a simple definition you can give. How to give story points, how to estimate user story. So this is the one, all the points you need to focus. Understand the user story. First, you need to understand. So make sure everyone on the team has a clear understanding of what the user story entails and what it needs to be delivered. Second, use relative sizing. Okay. So instead of trying to estimate the exact effort required to complete a user story, use approximate story points you can give. So that's the how you can estimate with this one. So use a standard scale. So I already mentioned standard scale, a Fibonacci series scale. So this is the best way to give the story points. So for example, you have immediately you can finish in 1 hour half day, one or 2, 3 hours, for example. You can give one story point. For example, you want 1 day, you can give 2 story points. 3 means 2 days you can finish. 5 means maybe 3, 4 days you need. And 8 means 5 days you need. 13 means entire story, entire sprint. So that's the 13. So not 21, maximum this will be like this. So that's how you will give story points. So involve the team, all the team members. So you can ask cross questions and so many any dependencies are there. You can ask those dependency questions. So that's how you can estimate. Even you can re-estimate regularly. So right, you can change. For example, you have given a wrong story points. You can tell that and give a justification why you need more or why you need less, and you can justify and re-estimate that user story regularly. So that's the how you can give story points. So basically, it depends on the complexity. So complexity of the user story based only you can give the story points. So what are generally you have a t-shirt sizing like extra small, medium, large, extra large, you will give like this also you can give, or you can give like Fibonacci series. Okay, any one is fine, but mostly people will follow this approach, Fibonacci series concept approach.
Maximum will be like 5 user points for every user story.
Not like that.
So per sprint, like how many we can give max?
13. So
13.
entire sprint, if you want, 13 you can give.
Okay.
So I as I mentioned again, so company to company it will vary the definition of story points. Some companies they will treat it differently. So we are treating differently. If entire story, entire sprint we want, we'll give 13 story points. So it depends on that. This it will vary company to company. So basically, you need to understand the requirements very clearly. That's a very important point. That's why I kept first only this one. Okay, so that's all about story. See here, small story means 1 to 3 days you have to finish. Medium means 3 to 5 days you have to. Large means 5 to 7 days. Extra large means more than 10 days you take and finish that. This is the how you can give this.
Based on the application of the right?
Yeah, application you should have application. Main thing is you should have application knowledge. Without application knowledge, it's not possible to give.
We need to get it sort for from the team leader or
Exactly. Okay. So that's it all about Agile methodology. Let's come back and we'll discuss few more points. Still, we have so many other, and we'll discuss them. Okay.